talking about we gotta discipline people. He was like, why is that?
Yeah.
Remember you talking about that?
Yeah.
So my brother right here, he said he was gonna explain it to you out of the scriptures what it is that keeps us in such a destroyed state. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Right? Right.
What's the name of D, bro?
D, man, I'm NDL. Okay. So one of the things is, right, we have to understand who we are as a people before we can understand why we are undisciplined people. Right? Because that has something to do with our lack of discipline. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse. Let me show you something. Everything we do, we teach out of the Bible. I'm going to show you why we are undisciplined people. Right? Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. Familiar with Moses?
Yeah.
Okay, right. You know what he did for his city?
Not really, but
That's why I had to follow. That's why I got you. All right? So Moses freed his people out of slavery from Egypt.
Okay.
Right? And he was bringing them to the promised land. Right? So before he brought them to the promised land, he reiterated a lot of things he said over the time that they spent in the wilderness in Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Okay.
Right? Get Deuteronomy 1 and 1 real quick. So I'll show you that in the Bible, then I'll take you through it real quick. Real good question. What's up, King? There you go. All right. Read that real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So these are the words that Moses spake unto all his people, Israel.
Okay.
So this whole book of Deuteronomy is about his people, Israel.
Okay.
All right. So when we get into Deuteronomy 28, he's talking about the things that would happen to them for a particular cause. All right. Get Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it says now all these curses will come upon us and overtake us. For what reason? Did you hear it? Catch why it will come upon us? Read it again. It's
But
important you catch that.
it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
So there we go, right? So if we don't observe to do all his commandments, the thing that keep us disciplined, right? He gonna curse us, right? He gonna curse us everywhere that we go. That's why you can come here and still see us doing the same thing, doing in the same condition. Black people's at the bottom here, right? So now, get your head lit. So now when we tap into the identity, right? He's speaking to his people. So now we're gonna identify what happened to them for not keeping those commandments, right? Give me verse 20. Give me verse 48.
Yep.
Start at verse 45.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So you want to know why we not disciplined? We destroyed. We destroyed, right? We don't.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because we didn't listen to what he had to tell us. We want to do our own thing. Or we
Disobedient.
want to do what everybody, we disobedient. Right? Read.
To keep his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So these curses that left us destroyed is upon us for a sign and for a wonder. For example, right? What store is that? How you know?
That logo.
The logo, it's a sign on there. Right? Can I argue with you? Can I be like, nah, bro, you tripping? That's Burger King, man. You on that Molly? Can I do that?
Nah, you can't redo it.
It's crazy, right? Because the sign says, right? So the Lord said these curses that I'm telling you is going to be on my people for a sign. So you can't argue it.
Can't argue, ain't nothing you can
So
do.
now, let's tap into it, right? Read that again.
Right, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon my seed forever. Upon thy seed forever.
Upon thy seed. That's your children forever, right? So it says curses will be on your seed forever. What does that sound like today? Generational curses.
What's going on?
Generational curses, right? Read on.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
So before we came to be what we are today, we had all type of stuff that the Lord gave us. Remember, I saw my boy just passed by with the crown on his head?
Yeah.
I talked to him earlier, he was like, we was kings and queens. Yeah, we was. But we fell from that because we chose not to listen to our God. Instead, we wanted to do
disobedient.
There we go again, right? Now jump down to the last curse. Oh, read on,
Yes,
so we
sir.
get it, okay?
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Now we got to serve our enemies. We didn't want to serve our God. Now we got to serve our enemies. All right, watch this out.
That's why we here now.
Read on.
Sorry.
which the Lord shall send against thee.
Hold on.
We're not with this group. I'm with
Make sure you get that on camera too. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
So for your food and your water, right? Whatever you want, you got to go to your enemies to get it. For example, right? The clothes that's on your back, the food that you ate today, the things that you drank, that's not supplied to you by your people. Everything that you got to do, you got a license,
Yeah.
social security card, you got that from the black community,
Nope.
right? You got to get it from
We ain't got nothing in our.
That's this curse.
But we spend the most on everybody else.
Because we destroyed.
Yeah.
That's this curse. That's this curse, right? And this curse, Moses is speaking to who?
Speaking to his people, right?
But who is this applying to? Is this in the Chinese community?
Now you talking to them.
I get finish that.
And in nakedness,
Uh-huh.
and in want of all things.
For everything that you want, you got to go to the man. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
You gonna do what?
And he shall put a yoke,
You know what a yoke of iron
iron.
is? It's a shackle on your neck.
Oh.
A yoke of iron. Watch yourself off. Yep. Right. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
You want to know why we don't got no shackles on our neck? It's because we destroyed. It was a brother running around here with 2 dogs that he didn't have the leash in their hand. The leash was on their neck, but they never left him. They never left him. They are completely trained. So now, today,
We
instead
program the
of,
same way.
that's the destruction that we have. Right? We programmed to be undisciplined because that's part of the man's system. That's part of the curse.
But it all started because we was out of disobedience.
There you
That's
go.
already.
There
That's
you go.
there in
Jump
the
to verse
beginning.
68 and we're going to give him some answers. Right?
Verse 68.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Remember what the Israelites were just first doing in Egypt? While Moses had to free them? Get that point. Exodus 20. Right, we're gonna explain it with the Bible, so that way it's not my words.
Gotcha.
Right? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.
Mhm.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
Out of that place, right? Go ahead. What's that place called?
out of the house of bondage.
What's Egypt?
The house of bondage.
What bondage mean? What does bondage mean?
Correct definition. I can't really explain it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's slavery. It's captivity,
Okay,
right?
okay.
You put a animal in the zoo, right? He can't go nowhere. He in bondage.
Okay.
Right? He in captivity. That's where we at right now. That's where we just came from at this point in time in the Bible. So when they say you gonna go back to Egypt, we know what that means, right? And the Bible defines it as the house of bondage, slavery. Now let's jump back to these curses. Watch this, D. You say your name D, right?
Yep.
Okay. Watch this. Watch this.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
What's Egypt?
House of bondage.
House of bondage. I'm gonna bring you into slavery again. Go ahead.
Again with ships.
How you gonna go into slavery?
With ships.
How you gonna go into slavery? How we went into slavery?
Shit.
Nah. Who is Moses talking to?
He talking to us.
Right. But what did he call them?
Dang.
He called them the Israelites. So now that's part of our destruction, not knowing our name.
Man.
Matter of fact, get that curse real quick. Get that curse real quick.
Man.
That's part of our destruction. We run around here saying we black because that's not what our forefathers called us. That's a description. That's not a name.
Yes, that's facts.
You understand?
Fact.
So that's like, what if we changed it? Like, what if I said, hey, we should stop calling each other black, we should call each other burgundy? Right? Would that make sense?
It's basically it's a description.
It's the same thing. It's just as stupid. Right? We the only people on here that have never gone by our name.
Facts.
Right? That's part of the destruction.
You can see that just on application.
There you go. Right?
What they got? German Hill, all that Pacific Islander, but black.
You can see it on all these places out here. A lot of these places have cultural identification. Right? Get that curse from me, right?
Verse 37.
This is why we don't go by our name. Go ahead.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
That's entertainment. That's entertainment, right? That's why you see a lot of us out here singing and doing backflips and stuff like that. That's what's expected of us.
That's why they just called the police on us with a
Absolutely.
group of black men standing in front of a restaurant.
We're going to show you that
Somebody
right now,
did.
Right? Somebody called the police on us, and we're going to show you why. Read.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
Entertainment, go ahead.
A proverb.
A proverb is a wise saying, like a saying that sticks, like a stereotype.
Yeah.
Like you get too many niggas together, they up to no good.
Facts.
That's why the
I
police
just went
came
through
right
that
there.
2 weeks ago at work.
We just went through that 2 seconds ago.
But that
The
too.
police just came right there and said, hey, look, we reading the Bible. We got the Bible out. And they be like, hey, you know,
There's
we
too
just
many
got.
of y'all. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all
That's
can't
that's
get
a
up.
wise saying. That's a proverb that sticks with our people. Now listen good, read.
And a byword.
A byword is a name that's not your name, like black, nigger, Negro, African American. Moses
Gotcha.
didn't call us African Americans, and that's why a lot of times our people have a hard time matching it up because, well, he didn't say black people. That's not our name,
That ain't
so he
what
wouldn't
we
say
about.
black people. You understand? Read that last part of it.
And a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So wherever you go on earth, you're gonna have a proverb and a byword. You're gonna have a stereotype and a name.
Hey, bro,
Yo,
we
watch
ain't here
out,
for
bro.
that. We
Watch
ain't here
out.
for all that, bro.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Astonishment. He expected us to be goofy and entertaining. That's what he expected. That's that you
and they
get in
do
the
it
country.
naturally.
Like, it's crazy. Everywhere that we go, among all nations that we sent to on the earth, that's what's gonna happen to us, right? So now, if we snap because we tired of that every day,
With bad.
you understand?
Yeah.
That's why we have to remain disciplined,
Yeah.
right? And the only thing that's gonna give us discipline is the law, statutes, and commandments.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is